Hi everyone, it's Miss D, your Cocoa librarian, and welcome to our Halloween bash. We're going to be starting officially at 7 o'clock, but I am just checking to make sure, the lighting and everything's okay and everyone can hear me. So if you're coming in a little bit early, just say hi and let me know who is here. I am going to locate my gloves because I am Mario tonight. Yay! I know a couple people saw that as a sneak peek on my page, but I am Mario. Welcome. Welcome. Let me know who's here. I'm going to type over in the chat. I'm going to say hello over in our comment section. Hello. I have our books here that we're going to be reading for tonight. We're going to have lots of fun activities planned for you guys. So I hope you all are ready to move. Hope you guys are ready to do some fun STEAM activities. And just as a reminder, for those who were not, who missed my last message that I had on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram page, you are going to need several ingredients for tonight if you plan on participating in our STEAM activity. You are going to need glue. It can be clear or it can be the white glue, whichever glue you'd like to use. You're going to need, if you want to, and this is totally optional, you can have food coloring. I'm going to use food coloring. If you're going to use food coloring, I would suggest using some wax paper because you're going to need to, it kind of gets a little bit messy sometimes. So you want to make sure that you have some wax paper. You're going to need some baking soda, and I have some baking soda here. And you're going to need a contact lens solution. And you want to make sure the contact lens solution that you have has boric acid in it because it's important for making slime, because tonight we're making goblin goo. Yay! So you just want to make sure you have all these ingredients. And of course, something to mix your ingredients in. I have a little container here that I'm going to use. And I also have a mason jar because I usually like to store things in a little small sealed container after I'm done with my slime, just in case I want to use it later. And I also have a couple of Ziploc bags. You can grab some of those things too. We have a couple minutes here before we officially welcome everyone on in. If this is your first time, let me know. At 7 o'clock, I'm going to announce the challenge. Usually it's for my Instagram page, and I'll announce that at 7 o'clock. I don't want to give everybody a head start. So last time we had the Fortnite, and I had the challenge of, if you were building a fort with us, what you would do, you would take a picture of your fort, and then you would tag it to my Instagram page, and then the person who had the most likes on the Instagram page for their picture, they actually won an e-gift card. So I'll announce tonight's special prize, and usually it has a beginning time and then it has an end time. So we're gonna see. I'm super excited. So, and also make sure that for the STEAM, you want to be in a place that is going to be an easy cleanup area. And this is a family activity, and you would definitely want to have it in a location where you can just kind of pick everything up and just toss it away. Like right now, I'm in my kitchen, so that way, after I'm done with everything, I can just be like, whoop, and throw it in the garbage. Or if I have a little spill, the sink's right here, and I have, and then I also have something to wipe up everything. So you want to make sure that we are having fun, but also being safe, and then also make sure we're clean up. All righty. Let's see. All righty. And again, if you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually post the ingredients over into the chat, so that way everyone's able to have it for during the activity. So that way, I won't have to put it up too many times for you all. You guys can kind of go back and forth and look at it as as you need to. Let's just put that up. And of course, in the ingredients that I'm going to be posting, it says orange food coloring, or you don't have to necessarily have that. Whatever you're going to have, if you have like white glue, either way, we're going to be making slime. But if you want to make colorful slime, go ahead and make it whatever color you'd like. So again, I'm going to post the ingredients for tonight over into the chat for everyone, just in case you want to follow along. So there we go. And let me know if you have any questions. Ooh, no. Let me just alter this a little bit. Little hiccup. Slight hiccup with the pasting. 1 second, and then I'm just going to paste. That looks a little bit better. All right, so let me put a little bit of the, so Elmer's glue. Let me do it this way. Having a little bit of trouble with getting it all in there, but I will just do it this way, and that is okay. And I'm going to paste that. There we go. And a little bit of, and we're going to need some water. And the last final ingredient would be just a little bit of water. So if you're able to see it, let me know if you're able to see it. If not, that's fine too. I will, this will all be in my description a little bit later once this goes to my YouTube channel. And it's also going to be on my Instagram page. So make sure you follow me at the Cocoa Librarian, because this will all be there, and all the ingredients and everything that you need will be on that page. We have a few more minutes and then we're going to get started. I'm super excited. If you are in a costume and you're able to chat, let me know what costume you're in. I am Mario tonight. So if you want to say hi, or let me know what you have on, or let me know what you're wearing, or if you can give a like to let us know that you're here, that is cool too. And we're going to start in 2 minutes here. And I'm just going to let everyone know. So tonight we are going to be reading some fun books for Halloween. We have this one. This one's called Christopher Pumpkin, and this is by Sue Hendra and Paul Linnet. So this is I really enjoyed this one. I saw this one actually when I was in Barnes and Noble's a few weeks ago, and I was like, this is super cute. So I hope you all like it. And then my all-time favorite, we are going to be reading Where the Wild Things Are, because I feel like you can't ever, like, you know, not have like a Halloween and not at some point during the week or during the month read Where the Wild Things Are, right? That's the way I believe. I think so. I hope other people agree. All right, we have a few more minutes here, guys, and then we're going to get started. So just as a reminder, for those of you who are coming in, and I'm seeing people come in, we are going to be making goblin goo, aka slime. So what you're going to be needing for this particular program, I posted some of it in the chat, but for those of you who aren't able to view the chat, you're going to need some glue. I have some clear glue. You can use the clear or the white glue, whichever one you prefer. You're going to need contact lens solution. I have a little bit here. You are going to need food coloring if you want. If you don't want food coloring, that's okay. You can put other things in your slime that we're going to be making. I also have some glitter. Woo! Hope you're able to see that. And then some baking soda. So you want to make sure you have that. And then, of course, some measuring spoons, because you're going to need to measure. And then I have my containers here for tonight, and my mason jar, just in case I want to seal it. Or if you don't have a mason jar, or if you don't like have something, paper, like a cup is fine to mix it in. If you don't want to necessarily use a bowl, and then to store it later, if you don't want to use the mason jar, Ziploc bag is fine too, because, you know, it seals it, does the same thing. If you want it super duper sealed, Used to. Okay. All righty. So we are going to go ahead, 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Halloween Bash. Welcome, everyone. I am Miss D, your Coco librarian, to tonight's Halloween Bash STEAM edition. And I am Mario. I know some of you had looked at my Instagram page earlier in this week, and I was dressed as Mario. So I was just like, well, since I gave them a sneak peek, why not be Mario for this Halloween Bash? I hope other people are dressed in costume, because for the Halloween Bash, like we did for the Fortnite, I am giving away a prize, and it's all going to be virtual. If you are wearing like a costume for tonight, or if your family's wearing like a family costume, what you want to do, you want to make sure that you take a picture of what you all are wearing, and if you post it on Instagram, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And then once you post it on Instagram, don't forget to tag at the Coco Librarian. And for anyone who receives the most likes from that being on my page, you will be able to win an Barnes & Noble gift card. So you want to make sure that you are getting your pictures in before midnight on Halloween. That's Eastern Standard Time. So you want to midnight Eastern Standard Time of Halloween, October 31st. So you have today and all tomorrow to put up your pictures and tag at the Coco Librarian. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And I'm going to make sure I put that into the chat over here for all of you. If you have a costume, or if you have a family costume, make sure you're putting that on there and get some likes for what you are wearing. Can't wait to see what you all have, what you all are putting on, all the imaginative costumes that you come up with. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And like we always start off any event that I have, I'd love to do like a little fun motion kind of activity. So I'm going to do our jump up and down song, but for this particular jump up and down song, I've sort of made it my own rendition. Normally when I'm in the libraries and I have the kids in front of me, I will say like their name, and then I'll have them jump up and down, or dance all around, or clap all around, or stomp all around. But since, I'm not able to see everybody, what we're going to do, I'm going to say families, and we're going to do whatever motion that we call out. Are we ready? So we're going to start off with jump up and down. Are we ready, everyone? Let's go. Ready? And families, families, jump up and down, jump up and down, jump up and down. Families, families, jump up and down, and sit back down. And you find your seat really quick. Are we ready to do, let's clap. Are we ready? Families, families, clap all around, clap all around, clap all around. Families, families, clap all around, and sit back down. Let's get a little bit more motion to it. Let's stomp all around. Are we ready to stomp? And families, families, stomp all around, stomp all around. Families, families, stomp all around, and sit back down. Are you sitting down? Did you find your seat? I found mine. Let's do one for Halloween. Do we think we can, let's do a roar all around. Can we roar? Roar. Ready? And families, families, roar all around, roar, roar all around, roar, roar all around. Families, families, roar all around, roar, and sit back down. Woo! All right, good job. I'm loving it. So for those of you who are just joining, I put some of the ingredients that we're going to be using tonight over into the chat. I'll repeat it really quick. For those of you who are just joining us, you're going to need some glue for today's STEAM activity. You are going to need some contact lens solution if you're planning on participating. The food coloring, but that is totally optional. And some baking soda. And don't forget to have measuring spoons. Ta-da! And something to stir your mixture in, because we are going to be making goblin goo. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be sticky. It's going to be a little bit messy, which is why I have a couple pieces of foil laying on my counter, and I'm doing this activity in my kitchen just in case I have a little spill. So you want to make sure you're grabbing those ingredients, and welcome to those who have just joined us. Okay, so I'm going to actually read our first book as we get into tonight's activity. And Miss D has misplaced her chair, so just 1 second. And I'm ready. Okay, so this one is called Christopher Pumpkin. So we're gonna find out about Christopher Pumpkin. And I'm gonna take my gloves off. That way I can turn the pages a little bit better. All right. Christopher Pumpkin. On Snaggletooth Lane in spooky Spookville was a dark, creepy castle perched high on a hill. Deep in that castle, by the glow of the fire, sat a wicked old witch with a burning desire to throw a huge party, the scariest yet, one that her friends would never forget. Look at that castle. Cool, right? There's too much to do. It drives me berserk. Now who can I find to do all the work? She looked all around, and what did she spy? A big pile of pumpkins she bought for a pie. And this could be useful and scary as well. I'll bring them to life with the help of a spell. She was making an army and having a ball. As they sprang into life, she gave names to them all. There was Gnarly, there was Grizzly, there was Grunty, there was Roar, there was Snaggletooth, there was Stinkface, and maybe one more. The witch raised her wand for one more final go. There were sparkles and glitter. Then a voice said, "Uh-oh. Hello, I'm Christopher Pumpkin. I like all things fun. I'm so happy to be here. Group hug, everyone." He stretched out his arms and gave them a grin, overflowing with kindness and warmth from within. Such a happy pumpkin. "Oh no!" screeched the witch. "What on earth did I make? You're supposed to be scary. I've made a mistake." "Now, hang on 1 minute," said Christopher P. "I'm sure I'll fit in. Just wait and you'll see." "All right," snapped the witch. "As there's so much to do, but Christopher Pumpkin, I'll be watching you." "Now get on with your work and make decorations. I want horrible, ghastly, frightful creations. Did someone say decor? That's right up my street. Forget about the tricks and prepare for a treat." There will be lifting and shifting and huffing and grunting, but while others hung cobwebs, Chris hung up bunting. Then along came the witch. "Work hard, buffoons." But instead of a bat lantern, Chris chose balloons. There we go. The horrified pumpkins all scuttled away. They needed to find party music to play. "My favorite music is howling and screaming," said Gnarly the pumpkin, his scary eyes gleaming. "I'm sorry," said Christopher, "but that sounds bizarre. Let's all have a sing-song. I've brought my guitar." Now for the food, it was time to begin. So they stood round the cauldron, tossing things in. First some earwax, then some hair from the Yeti, a poisonous bug, and some moldy spaghetti. The result was rat pizza, all sprouting with hair, and stinking green cheese made from old underwear. Some hot curried slugs, fried spicy snakes. Then in walked our Chris with some pink fairy cakes. I like his cakes a little bit better. This just isn't working. I think you'll agree, said the witch as she glared down at Christopher P. I've had quite enough. You're not part of this group. If you can't be scary, I'll turn you to soup. You got till the morning. Have I made myself clear? Poor Christopher nodded, frozen with fear. I don't want to be soup or pie or stew. I'll stay up all night and plan what to do. I'm Christopher Pumpkin. I like all things fun, but there must be a way I can scare everyone. He worked through the night, never taking a break, but the clock, it was ticking. Soon the witch would wake. The morning arrived and the pumpkins all stared at Christopher Pumpkin's bed. He's gone, they declared. I suppose that it's better he went without fuss. There was really no chance he could ever scare us. Along came the witch. Not out of my way. My guests are arriving. The party's today. So poor Chris had vanished, or so it would seem, but then from the outside came an almighty. Uh-oh, here we go. Scream! It's horrid, it's nasty. This just isn't funny. Please, somebody stop him. I want my money. There were unicorns skipping balloons on the door, fluffy pink kittens and sparkles galore. There were marshmallow puffs piled up in the mountains, strawberry milkshakes with squirting from fountains. I'm Christopher Pumpkin. I like all things fun, but before he could finish, the witch shouted, "Run! Wait, don't you like it?" Chris called with delight. Well, one thing's for sure, I scared them all right. And that one's called Christopher Pumpkin. And I like that one. I always find that anything that involves fun, happy, unicorns is all in good fun. And I like Christopher Pumpkin. So that one is going to be called, that's one called Christopher Pumpkin. It's by Sue Hendren and Paul Lynette. And that one's going to be posted into the description section after this broadcast. So don't worry, I will have all the info for all the books there a little bit later. So let's get steaming. So for those who do not know, STEAM, it stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. And STEAMing is a great way for kids to really get engaged in learning. It helps them solve like working out problem skills and things like that. So when families STEAM together, it's a big learning and environment. So I always encourage everyone, which is why I have these family nights, and I do STEAM activities with families to do them together, because I think it's so important, and it really helps out with children with their developmental skills. And building that and really getting them involved in the science, technology, engineering, in the arts and mathematics field, because that's an important field, because as you know, 65% of the careers that kids will have tomorrow have yet to be invented, which means that they will be creating all these new fields, and they need innovation, they need the science, they need the technology, they need the engineering, they need the arts, and they need the math to kind of help them along. They need all of that to create and build and innovate. So we want to encourage that. So without further ado, let's get steaming. Okay, so like I said, for those who just joined, I am in the kitchen just in case there is a big mess and I have to throw something in the sink or throw something in the garbage really quick. You are going to need some glue, contact lens solution, food coloring. If you want, you do not have to use food coloring, and some baking soda. So first, what you want to do, in a bowl, you want to pour some of your glue first. So we're going to get our glue, and if I'm going too fast at any time in the comments section, just say, Miss D, hold up, and then I will slow down for you. All right, so I'm going to pour in a little bit. In the description, it says about 6 ounces, but I have a smaller I have like a smaller like container here. So I'm gonna do about like half. So I'm gonna half my solution of what I'm making, but you go ahead and use 1 bottle or the 6 ounces of what it says. But I'm gonna be, just so you know, I'm gonna be doing half of that. So I'm gonna pour about half of that into my bowl here. We are going to make some slime. How many people have made slime before? Like in school? I'm sure some parents have. How many people have worked with slime? That was fun. I remember in school when I used to, during the summer reading program at libraries, they had a treasure chest that you could pick prizes and stuff out of. And I loved getting any of the sticky items. I was like, ooh, the stickier the better. And I'm sure it made my mom cringe. I'm sure my mom was like, ugh, it's gonna get in the carpet. You know, your parents are always like, it's gonna get in the carpet, it's gonna get in their hair, it's gonna be all over the place. But yeah, but when you're a kid, you're not thinking of all that. You're just thinking, fun, freedom. And so now once I've added my glue into my container here, I'm gonna start putting in my coloring first. Because it's going to get a little difficult to mix once you start adding in the other ingredients. So I'm going to add my food coloring, and I've chosen to use red food coloring for my goblin goo. So I'm going to put just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 drops in there. And then I'm going to get like a little stirrer here, which I have slightly forgotten, a little mixer. Go through my cobwebs. Get myself a spoon, and then I'll mix it in here, and it's turning red. Look at that. I'm gonna add actually just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And then, so that's kind of, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Ooh. And then I'm gonna add, because I have some glitter, so if you have glitter, throw some glitter in there. It's so much fun when you're going to stretch the slime and you see things inside, then you get different textures, and the different textures are really what make it fun. So I'm gonna put some glitter, and hopefully this looks nice when I add the glitter in. I'll put the glitter in there. Ooh. When the light's hitting it, it looks really cool. Now it just looks like, I know you guys see like a little bit of specks, but it's pretty cool when the light's hitting it. Okay, so now let's add some of our baking soda and some of our contact lens solution. And again, you want to make sure that you have contact lens solution that has the boric acid in it when you're mixing that. So it's asking for a half teaspoon of baking soda. So again, for you, if you did the whole mixture as is, you put the whole half. I'm going to use about half of that, so that way I am following along with, so I'm going to use a fourth right here. So I'm following along with my particular recipe. So I'm going to use 1/4 of the baking soda. And then I'm just going to mix that in. Mix, 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 mix. Now it's looking a little bit cloudy. I love doing steam activities because, you know, it like lets you, it's like an experiment. You're kind of playing around with everything. You're like, why is it doing that? And I notice it's getting a little bit stickier now that I've added this baking soda in there. Interesting. I'm getting bubbles. And then it says we want to add 1 1/2 tablespoons of that. So I'm going to actually get out and for just a quick note for parents, if you're able, at this point, you kind of want to add in the contact lens solution, because if it all gets poured in right away, sometimes your slime gets too, like, it thickens too quickly. So it might say 1 1/2 tablespoon, but you probably don't need all of that. So my suggestion is start with a little and then continue to add. So I'm going to actually do that myself. So I'm going to just slowly start to add the contact lens solution to my mixture. Just slowly add it. And then as you are mixing, you'll start to notice this starts to get, it's starting to get slimy. That's the good stuff. Yay! And I didn't even add like the full amount to mine just yet, but I'm noticing it's starting to harden a little bit and it's getting that slimy feel to it. Do you see that? So I'm gonna add just a little bit more and see what happens. And you can go ahead and touch it too. So feel free to touch it once it starts to thicken a little bit. Mine is not quite ready yet to be touched. So let me pour a little bit in. Now I'm just going to pour it from there, just a little bit. See what happens. Oh, now it's really thickening. There we go. You can kind of see it when I'm stirring it too. That's a really nice red. It's my Mario red. All righty, so let's see when I touch it, let's see what happens. It's still kind of sticky, so I'm gonna put a little bit more. Just a little bit more until it starts to all come together. There we go. And while I'm stirring, I just wanted to remind everyone who signs on a little bit later that if you plan on participating in the Halloween contest on my Instagram page, don't forget to make sure that you're tagging at the Cocoa Librarian hashtag the Cocoa Librarian to once you take your pictures. And the people who are getting the most likes on the page, you have a chance to win an e-gift card. So, and I will be reaching out to the winner of that. So that is tonight's prize, like we did for Fortnite. Let me see this. Nope, still not ready yet. Slime is very temperamental to make. It's like you put too much, then it's just like, I've over slimed it. I'd be interested to see what kind of costumes everybody kind of comes up with for this one. All righty, look at that. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's definitely sticking to my bowl here. So now what I'm gonna do is I am going to pour it out. No, not yet. Let me pour just a little bit more. Yeah, it's still sticky. Still a little bit sticky. Put a little bit more in. And then continue to stir. Then we are making slime. And then I'm going to pour it into my Ziploc bag here. So that way, if I want to squish it around in my Ziploc bag, I can. Alrighty. It's coming along. It's very sticky though. Slime is very, very sticky. As a child, you enjoy it. As an adult, you're like, I'll pass on it. But it's so much fun to kind of like, once you get like the good textured slime, to kind of play around with it. It's a great, like almost like having like a fidget spinner kind of thing. Like a stress ball kind of thing in the office. There we go. Slime. Ta-da! Doesn't that look very gooey? That looks gooey. That looks messy, which is why I decided to do this in my kitchen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it I'm going to rinse my hands. If you have some stuff on your hands, first I'm actually going to put it into my Ziploc bag first. And then I'm going to rinse my hands because I'm sure it'll be messy once I put this into my Ziploc bag. There we go. So that way I can have this to squish later. I'm going to take a picture of it and put it on my Instagram page. If you're not following me, make sure you're following me. Ooh. No. I'm gonna get this. It's gonna go into this bag. If not, then I'll fold it somewhere. Get rid of this. Oh, slime fail, but it's okay. Nailed it. Ha. So sometimes, you know, when you're doing science experiments, you kind of get all over the place, which is what happened with my slime. It's fun to play around with, but it didn't necessarily make it to my Ziploc bag. So what I'm gonna do, I probably needed just a little bit more contact solution, but that's all right. I'll make another one in a second here, so that way, or I'll kind of doctor this one up. So as you can see, let me move my camera so you guys can kind of see it. Move my camera for you. Let me get this off my hands. It comes off my hands fairly easily, actually. Just kind of peels off. Oh, there we go. So as you can kind of see on my thing here, it's slime. I have slime there. So it should be able to pick up easily. I'm sure once I add a little bit more of the contact lens solution, then it'll probably will give me a little bit more of that stickiness. And then I can always put it in my Ziploc bag and take a picture later. So if you guys want to share your pictures of your slime, feel free to go ahead and do that too. Here we go. So I'm gonna put that in there. Start putting a little bit at a time. There we go. There's that one. There's this one. Then I'm going to, oh, it's healing. Maybe it just needed a resting time. All right, guys, this is actually looking good. I'll put it in here and put it in my bowl. Then I'll show you once it's in my bag. Show what's in my bag. There we go. Kind of looks like mozzarella cheese or any kind of cheese once you're peeling it. Okay, there we go. Just needed a little squirt of, there we go. Ta-da! So this is my slime. Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. And let me know how your slime turned out. If you made slime, it came out good, give us a like. If this was horrible and it's all over the place, mine at first I grabbed it a little bit too early, so I probably should have waited just a little bit longer. But once I added a little bit more contact lens solution and then let it sit for a little bit, it kind of now is a little bit more slimy. It's a little bit more slimy. All right, so I'm gonna put it in my Ziploc bag so that way it doesn't dry out, and then I'm gonna rinse my hands off, and then we are going to read our next book really quick. I'm gonna rinse my hands, get off some of the slime. There we go. And we should be good. There we are. And then I'll grab like a paper towel here. Did anybody use a different color? I know like in some of the instructions, some people around this time of year will use like traditional Halloween colors. Well, they'll have like the greens and they'll have the orange and they'll have the white. So it's really, you can have a good time. Some people will take slime and get like little mason jars, little containers, and they'll decorate the containers, which is super fun too. Because you can, if you made orange slime, you can put the orange slime in here, and then you can decorate it with like a little jack-o'-lantern face, and then you have like a little jack-o'-lantern slime jar, and it's really cute and it's super fun to do like these kind of activities. Because once you're done steaming, you can include that A part, which is the art part of steam. All righty, so now that my hands are washed, we are getting ready to read the next book for tonight, and that is one of my favorites, which is Where the Wild Things Are. So while you are finishing up your activities, and I'm going to clean up a little bit here, put the lid on my glue so my glue doesn't dry out, and then I'm going to put this over into the sink, move this out the way, And then that way we can move on to our next book. Bye-bye, foil. There we go. All right, so let's go to start our book. So I hope everyone is ready because I love reading this book, but I love getting animated when I read this book. I love to have audience participation while I'm reading this. So at certain points, I might have you do some roaring and some gnashing of your teeth and showing your terrible claws. It's going to be super fun. So let's read this together. Where the Wild Things Are. Let's get this started. There we go. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. There he is chasing the dog. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. I'm going to skip over a page. And grew. And grew until his ceilings hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars. Can we roar our terrible roars? Rawr! And they gnashed their terrible teeth. Let's gnash our terrible teeth. Their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes. Roll your terrible eyes. And show their terrible claws. Let's show our terrible claws and roar. Rawr! Till Max said, "Be still." He's the king, right? And tame them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. So he stared and didn't blink. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. Woo-hoo! And made Max king of all the wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rompus start. So they started rompusing. They're dancing around and climbing trees. More dancing and climbing and walking. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roar. Can we roar that roar one more time? Roar! They roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth. Let's gnash our terrible teeth. And rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Let's show our claws and roar again. Roar! But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. So I always love reading Where the Wild Things Are, because it's just fun to read, especially when you're in person in the library, and you're able to have like different kinds of instruments with the kids. I bring that out, and when it's like, well, let the wild rompus begin, they get to play the instrument, dance all around, and have such a good time. So I really love reading that book. But not only that, but it's a very comforting book with its text, because Max sails off into imagination. He gets into this argument with his mother in the beginning, but then he sails off into a world of imagination where he thinks it's better. But in the end, he discovers, I just want to be where someone loves me. And then he sails back home, and it shows that somebody loves him, because when he goes back home, comes back from his imagination, the food is still hot for him. So it just goes to show you, no matter how far you go, no matter where you go, how far you journey off, sometimes love is still waiting for you at home. So guys, this has been Miss D, the Cocoa Librarian. Thank you for joining me for the Halloween Bash. Don't forget to tag your Halloween costumes to my hashtag it to my Instagram page, hashtag the Cocoa Librarian. I can't wait to see everyone's costumes. If you are going out trick-or-treating, please, 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 please be safe. Make sure you are washing your hands. Make sure you are wearing your mask. Don't be too much of a wild thing. Make sure you are maintaining 6 feet social distancing during this particular Halloween. We all want to make sure we are being safe and we're having fun, not being, again, too much of a wild thing, because when we go home, we are all going to be surrounded by love and have so much fun. So I hope everyone has a happy Halloween. This has been Miss D, aka Mario, signing off. Bye. Bye, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye.